He leaned closer and whispered, "Smile for the waitress or I'll snap your wrist." The threat was quiet, almost tender, too. The pressure on her bones was not. Cedar Ridge Diner sat a mile off Eminis 40, its neon sign buzzing over a windswept lot. Inside, fluorescent lights hummed over vinyl booths and burnt coffee. To everyone watching, the couple at table 3 looked ordinary. A man in his 40s with a clean suit and an easy smile. A young woman in a thin sundress, hands trembling in her lap. Only she knew his fingers were locked around her wrist under the table, pinning her to the moment. Tessa Monroe carried a coffee pot past them like she carried every other night. Steady, polite, invisible, night shift had trained her to notice what daylight people missed. The man ordered without looking up. 2 burgers, 2 sodas. Tessa glanced at the woman. "And for you." The woman lifted her eyes, red-rimmed, panicked. Her lips moved with no sound. "Help me." Tessa didn't flinch, she didn't stare. She just nodded once, like she'd heard an ordinary request, and stepped away. Calling the police on a feeling would buy him time. Doing nothing would buy him her life. At the corner booth, table 15, 6 bikers ate breakfast. Leather jackets, road dust, quiet confidence. The one facing the door watched the room like he was counting exits. Cole Rourke. Tessa tore a napkin, wrote 2 words and a number, and folded it twice. "Help, table 3. She delivered coffee to table 15 and slid Cole's mug down with the note hidden under the base. Cole read it, folded it, and slipped it into his jacket like the night had finally made sense. He looked up at Tessa. "You sure?" "I'm sure," she said. The man at table 3 stood suddenly and tossed cash down. "We're leaving." He clamped the woman's elbow and guided her toward the exit. Cole stood first. Then the others rose without hurry, spreading out with a calm that felt practiced. Cole reached the doorway and became a wall without acting like one. "Everything all right?" he asked. "Move," the man said, smiling too tight. "My wife's sick," he added. "She needs air." Cole's gaze flicked to the woman's bare hand, no ring. A bruise blooming at the base of her thumb. "Ma'am," Cole said evenly, "are you okay to travel?" The woman's mouth opened. No sound came out. Tessa stepped forward and threw a lie like a lifeline. "Sir, you underpaid." The man turned, irritated. "What?" In that half-second, the woman tore free and stumbled back. "He's not my husband," she screamed. "He kidnapped me." The diner went still, then broke. The man lunged. Cole caught his wrist and twisted him down. The man's other hand dove into his jacket. A pistol flashed. Someone shouted, "Gun!" Tessa dropped behind the counter. A mug shattered. Boots slammed tile. Cole's voice lowered, heavy and final. "Drop it!" The pistol lifted anyway. One biker slammed his shoulder. Another kicked his forearm. The gun clattered across the floor. Cole pinned him with a knee between his shoulder blades. The woman collapsed into a booth, shaking. A biker with a raven tattoo wrapped a leather jacket around her shoulders. Sirens washed the windows red and blue. Sheriff Dana Porter entered with 2 deputies, eyes sharp as broken glass. She took in the scene in one sweep. "What happened?" Tessa stood, voice steadier than she felt. "He brought her in against her will. She asked for help. He pulled a gun." The woman nodded through tears. "My name is Nadia Cruz. He said he'd kill my sister if I ran." The deputies cuffed the man. As they hauled him up, he turned his head toward Tessa and smiled like a promise. "You have no idea what you've done," he murmured. Sheriff Porter stepped close. "Try me." They dragged him outside. 2 days later, Tessa's phone rang from an unknown number. "I'm in protective custody," Nadia whispered. "I had to warn you, he escaped transport." Tessa's stomach dropped. "Escaped? Ambush," Nadia said. "He said he'd tie up loose ends. You're a loose end." The line went dead. That night, a black SUV idled outside Tessa's trailer at Sunny Acres Mobile Park, lights off, engine purring like patience. She called 911. The SUV tore away before deputies arrived. At dawn, a napkin sat under her windshield wiper, soon written in red ink. Sheriff Porter bagged it, jaw tight. "We can do drive-bys." "Not a guard." After she left, the trailer felt paper-thin. Then Tessa's phone rang again. "This is Cole," the voice said. "Give me your address." He arrived on a motorcycle, helmet under one arm, eyes dark with sleeplessness. He studied the napkin through plastic. "This is escalation," he said. "He's not running, he's cleaning." Tessa swallowed. "Nadia said he'd kill her sister." Cole nodded. "Marisol Cruz, she vanished yesterday. They're using her to pull Nadia. And Nadia to pull us." Why can't the system stop him? Tessa asked. Cole's answer was blunt. Because the pipeline pays people to look away, because paperwork moves slower than fear. He opened a map on his phone. Harborview Seafood Processing, Louisiana coast. Condemned on paper, active on satellite. A traffic camera caught the same SUV near it. Tessa stared at the screen, then at the red word in the bag. So I'm bait. Yes, Cole said. But bait can bite. I'm coming, she said. They drove east in a battered pickup, the sky turning steel, the air turning. Near Baton Rouge, Raven, one of Cole's crew, got a ping. Nadia's credit card, she said. Used 15 minutes ago. They pulled security footage from a gas station, a hooded woman buying water, a bruised wrist, dark curls slipping free. That's her, Tessa breathed. They found Nadia on a guardrail above black water, staring at the Gulf. They have Marisol, Nadia said, voice hollow. They showed me video. They made a deal. Bring Cole to Harborview and my sister lives. Cole stepped closer, hands visible. Where is she? Basement cages, Nadia whispered. 10 men armed, and he's there, Grant Mercer. Nadia's eyes flooded. Please walk away. Cole's voice stayed calm. So do the next women they take. Fog rolled in as Harborview rose from the coast, rusted metal and shattered windows, smelling of brine and rot. They approached on foot, flashlights slicing darkness. A muffled scream rose from below. Basement. Chain-link cages lined the wall, most empty. The last one held a young woman with bruised wrists and terrified eyes. Marisol, Tessa breathed. Cole worked the lock. Your sister sent us, you're safe. Marisol shook her head. It's a trap. Lights snapped on. On a catwalk above, Grant Mercer stood with armed men flanking him, smiling like he'd been waiting. Detective Rourke, he called down. So predictable. Let them go, Cole said. Grant descended the stairs, boots clanging. You're not fighting a man, you're fighting an industry. His eyes flicked to Tessa. And you're the waitress who wanted to matter. Tessa's hand tightened on the flashlight. The lock clicked. Tessa leaned close to Marisol. Run! Marisol bolted. Gunfire erupted. Bear's team breached from the rear, firing from a second angle. Bullets sparked off metal. Smoke and fog churned together. Grant tracked Marisol with his pistol. Without thinking, Tessa hurled her flashlight. It struck Grant's temple and ruined his aim. His shot snapped wide. Cole hit him hard. They crashed to the floor. A knife flashed. Cole's forearm opened, but he twisted Grant's wrist until bone cracked. The knife fell. Sirens wailed outside. State police flooded in, followed by federal agents sealing exits. Grant tried to rise. Cole drove him down until cuffs clicked. Nadia ran down the stairs and collapsed onto Marisol, both sisters shaking, both alive. Dawn cracked the horizon, turning the fog gold. After Harborview, raids followed, boats seized, accounts frozen, survivors found. In federal court, Tessa testified calmly. She described the grip under the table, the silent help, the napkin under the mug, the red ink word on her windshield. Grant Mercer stared at her without blinking. Tessa did not look away. Back in Amarillo, Cedar Ridge Diner changed quietly. A donation jar by the register. Missing person flyers on the wall. Table 15 gained a small brass plaque. Honor under fire. One evening, Cole walked in with his arm bandaged and slid an envelope across the counter. Inside was a silver patch stitched with 2 words, Road Shield. We're training spotters, Cole said. People who notice. Outside, the highway carried strangers into darkness. Some running toward something, some running from something, and some just trying to survive until someone noticed. Tessa pinned the patch behind the counter where she could see it every time she poured coffee. Then she met Cole's eyes. When do I start? Cole's tired smile was small but real. Right now.